Hey there, folks. I'm Isaac, and I did not prepare anything.
And I'm Claire, and I finished a game.
I also didn't prepare anything.
I never prepare anything. And this is
Make That Game,
where we pitch the latest,
the greatest
new video game ideas
that won't ever get made. No, we don't make video games. We don't do that.
We just talk about them and
refuse to
also
do
make
that.
our own ideas about them, but that's all they are.
Yeah, they're just ideas. But you can make them.
Yeah.
You can do it. You
Unless
can take
we
these
say,
ideas.
Unless we say tam, and then you can't.
And then you can't. That's legally binding. That's part of the legal contract of listening to this show. Implicit. Implicit. We found out the other day, we went apple picking. We found out that you could just post signs that say, like...
That's true. Just being on this property means you have waived all liabilities.
Yeah, I thought that you actually had to sign waivers for that, but
Apparently, no. But
Nope.
that was also, like, very much a farm. Like, it was not...
Well, yeah, that's where you pick apples. But yeah.
Right, but there's apple picking farms that are very tailored to the public, and then there's this one, which kind of just felt like a farm that lets you go there.
Yeah.
And we had a
For
good time.
sure.
It was a good time.
It was so good.
And we made really good pie.
Anyways, to reiterate the point, implicitly, you're not allowed to touch ideas that we TM, but everything else is fair game. Speaking of ideas that are fair game, this week's
idea.
I forgot the word. I was going to say hint or clue. I was going to say this week's clue.
Did you solve it?
The theme is crate.
Crate, yep.
And so I would like to hear the video game idea that you came up with, Claire, around the theme crate.
Yep. So my video game idea, it's so we watched this video game speedrun during Flame Fatales. Or I guess it was Flame Fatales.
Flame Fatales, yeah.
It's so close. It's so close to fall when they do it. Anyway, it was called Storage Something Simulator.
Mm-hmm,
I don't know. It had some fun physics about throwing things into a truck.
Ooh, oh, see, here's a mistake.
Yeah.
No, the theme was crate.
Yeah, no, here's...
As in crate dragons from Star Wars, Krayt.
You're kidding, right? I don't even know. Okay, I was like, no, okay, but that's not even where I'm going with this. So I want you to it's just the physics there.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at. So kind of like semi-realistic, but the physics are like really silly.
Okay, so we got silly physics realism.
So what you have to do is build crate towers out of milk crates. But you have to...
What is a milk crate?
Let me find a picture for you.
Yeah, a picture for me. Well, we're gonna have to describe it for other people that
Everyone knows what a milk crate is except you.
Then you should be able to define it or describe it. It's
one
in
of the.
way.
It's usually plastic. It's usually about 12 by 12 because you can store records in it. It's got hatch mark, like diagonal cross things, and you can see through it. And plastic. It's got handles.
Okay, and it's used. Milk comes.
Yeah.
In this.
I'm showing the picture to Isaac.
Okay, those are milk crates. Why are they milk crates?
Because milk comes in it. Like, you were correct. Like, if you order milk at a restaurant or a school, it comes in these crates.
Why does milk specifically come in specific crates?
I don't know.
Why doesn't it come, like, do we have tomato crates?
I mean, I think other things come in these crates, but I think they were originally for milk. I can't help you with that part. I just know they're milk crates. My mom used them a lot for school. She was a teacher.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you stack these plastic hatched crates for milk.
Yeah.
Do you drink the milk first?
Well, I like that actually. So my idea, because the milk crate is a very versatile crate. And, when you saw it, you were like, oh, I know what that is. Because people use it for many things. They store records in it. They store other food in it. They just like general stuff. So, that's the fun part is you have to go to places and basically steal stuff. So kind of like Untitled Goose shenanigans of dumping crates out. I think drinking the milk is really funny. So you have to source your crates from the world.
Okay.
Carry them to, I don't know. This is the part that's a little loose, I guess, because in my head I'm like, and then you build a tower and you climb it. But for why? I don't know.
No, they're just like there are implicit waivings of rights at Apple Farms in this podcast. There is an implicit, I would say explicit goal
Yeah.
to any tower, and that is to attack and dethrone God.
Okay, so yeah, you're building your milk crate
The Tower of Babel.
Yeah, to God. And maybe at the further up the tower you get, the crates have weapons in them and you can like
And
stockpile.
then angels attack.
Yeah, I think that, so that's the game, really. I think I'd call it Crate Tower Simulator, which is a thing that everyone wants to simulate.
Okay, imagine someone going in, no spoilers. The game doesn't actually tell you this. They're just like, build a crate tower. And you're like, okay. You stack it up. You hit the first level of clouds, and then it's like golden light and like screaming angelic beings are coming at you with swords.
And it's like, yeah, this is exactly what would happen if you built a crate tower this tall. What do you think?
Like, what?
Some people will be like,
they'd give up before
what's
then.
happening? And then, like, why are people talking about fighting God on Crate Simulator? Like, that
is that a meme? Is that like one of those?
Yeah.
Is that like the Morbin time meme where people act like Morbius was like a great movie? And they just make stuff up about it? No, actually, Crate Tower Simulator does involve attacking and dethroning God.
Well, yeah, so that's my game, Crate Tower Simulator.
Perfect.
What's your game about crates?
My game is, let's just call it space freighter unloading space forklift certified simulator. I don't know. It's also a simulator game. It's also in that vein.
I mean, this has happened before with themes where we gravitate towards similar formats.
Yeah. The idea here is you are a dock worker who unloads space crates from big freighter ships. You start off just unloading small ships, like basically like personal valet. Would that be valet service? Like when you arrive at a hotel room, like being the bellboy who moves it out of their like their luggage out of the car. So you start off at that, and then you get better technology like space forklifts and stuff, and you're unloading these massive like mile-long freighters that have millions of boxes, but you have like the tools to do that like efficiently, and that would be super cool. The secondary aspect of this is because it is space crates, there are space nasties that you have to be able to identify and destroy.
Okay. This feels very
super invasive species.
I will say this feels like it could be an expedition in No Man's Sky.
It very well could. No Man's Sky could do this.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky. Hello Games, if you're listening and you want to take a little break from
coming up with ideas?
Light No Fire, which I know you're working super hard on and still putting out content for No Man's Sky. Just let's ease the burden. Here's an idea for you. Here's an idea for you. Just space forklifts. Now that we can walk around in multiple tiers of spaceships and space stations, link all that together. Space forklift. And then we fight the monsters.
Agreed.
And I do want there to be a slightly horror game aspect where at least one, like there's different types of monsters. It's not just like, oh, there's gooey monster eggs and then they hatch and you have to fight them. There's like that kind. And then there's more insidious kinds. Like they infiltrated the ship itself and they're like wandering the, you know how when you have like stacks of crates in the shipping yard, it makes like a maze.
Like the big crates,
Yeah, so like you're walking through there and you only have a taser or something and you know something's stalking you, so it becomes like a horror game. Like you hear its foot pads, you hear clanking in the distance, and you're trying to figure out where it is because you got to exterminate it because you're sealed in the cargo bay because of this, because if it gets out, everyone's dead. So it's either you or they purge everything. Anyways, that's my game idea. That's all the feelings it's trying to invoke.
No,
that's
I like
everything you need to know about it.
Great. I'm in. I think it would be a cool expedition to have a little.
Well, also a full game.
Well, yeah, also a full game.
You could do a full game.
Also a full game. It's just when you talk about like space and freighters and things, I'm like, No Man's Sky.
That's just No Man's Sky. That's other games have tried, and you know what? They failed. Even No Man's Sky failed at first, and they clawed their way back to the top. They're undefeatable.
Yeah.
I have not heard a person mention the name Elite Dangerous in multiple years. That's like a game that I would consider like kind of a competitor.
Okay.
Star Citizen, I think listeners, please email me, leave a review. I don't know. Contact us in some way.
Email would be best. Make-that-game-podcast@gmail.com.
Tell me what's going on with Star Citizen, because I have not heard even any copium from Star Citizen.
What's a copium?
Copium is like the internet phrase for like, it's a fake drug that you huff to cope with something.
Oh.
So your copium is like you coping with the idea, like you saying something. So like Star Citizen copium, for example, is, if I just give them $16,000 more and let them work on it for 16 more years, it is going to be the best game ever. That's copium. So
Today I learned,
and I'm going to learn about, what are you going to tell me about in our discussion today? You finished a game, you said.
I finished a game. Clair Obscur,
That's your
33.
name.
That's my name.
You're obscure?
Maybe.
Not on this podcast.
No, not on this podcast.
You are the most famous person on this podcast.
Well, I think we are both the same.
No, you've been on more episodes than me.
I don't think that's true.
No, because you've been on episodes with Meghna.
Yeah, but you've been on episodes alone.
I've only been on one episode alone, and you said it was so sad you never allowed it again.
It was not the best episode.
I thought it was good.
It was good for what, but it did. When I listened to it, you'd be like, "Well, Claire now would say something," and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
That wasn't supposed to be sad.
It felt sad. I was like, "I should have been there."
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, that's a blast from the past, but yeah. So I'm gonna honk and bonk, which is when we do honks are the things we liked about the game, bonks are the things we think could be better, opportunities, as Corpo would say. And we try to stick to game design elements, like that's the lean, the
yeah. We don't just say, "Oh, I thought the graphics were nice."
Yeah, and it's not a review in the same way as.
No, we're not really trying to say like we liked this game,
but I
or
usually
not.
will say,
yes,
and I do like this game. But okay, so it's gonna probably be kind of long, and also here's how we're gonna handle the spoilers, because this is a very story-based game. Well, it's not like an adventure game. But the story, well, I don't know. I feel like an adventure game is more text-based, and this has a lot of cutscenes, but it's very battle and exploring based.
Yes.
So the story is very, very, like, strong, though. It's a lot about the story. There's a lot of twists and turns. So obviously spoilers will happen. So what I've done is I've basically created two sections of honks and bonks. One that is as spoiler-free as possible, and the other that is spoilerific. And I'm going to do them both. And
you're going to put a link in the time codes, like the time code links, so that when we get to the spoiler part,
you can jump.
People can jump.
Yeah, so right now, what I wanted to preface with, because I'll start with my spoiler-free, but it's like spoiler-free asterisk, because talking about any part of the game is going to be some kind of spoiler. Because very early in the game, you learn a lot about the world. I didn't know anything about the game going into it. I would see what I'm about to say as a spoiler. So, like, if you want to know nothing about Clair Obscur Expedition 33, like nothing, you need to go to the rapid fire round right now, which will be linked below. And then this will be more generic gameplay, a little bit of story, but not much. And then I'll tell you when the spoiler part starts. Okay, we ready to jump in?
Yeah.
All right. So Expedition 33, what is it? It's a JRPG, you told me, which is a Japanese RPG?
Yes.
It's turn-based. It's cool.
Ooh, no, that's an oxymoron. You can't have a turn-based JRPG and be cool.
That's true. It is also very silly. It takes place in fake France. It is a French game, but it's in English.
I'm sure there's a French translation of it.
There is, and there's lots of jokes about it. Apparently there's an Easter egg in the game that says, like, what about the French dub? It says it in French, I guess, because people make fun of the French dub. Anyway, it's an inside French joke. I love those because I don't get them at all. But, But yeah, so you're a band. I don't know, like how much can I describe? I guess I have to describe the gamage, right? Not
Do you
really.
have to describe the
No,
gamage?
not really. So basically, you're a
Yeah.
band of
Explorers.
explorers.
You're
And
on an expedition.
you're
You're
on an
having a good
expedition.
time.
You're exploring, and you also have a big task.
It's the 67th expedition.
No, it's not. It's the 30th. That's why it's called Expedition 33. That's
No. Oh,
yes.
no. No. Because they count down, remember?
Yeah.
This is why you didn't get the token at the beginning.
What are you talking about?
One of the quiz questions was the Expedition 33 will be the whatever
okay,
expedition.
sorry.
And it's because it counts down.
Okay, right. No,
So it's
you're
the
right. Sorry.
67th. And I'm saying that because that's vague, but also enticing. People are like,
Right.
I want to know what that means. How does that work out? I'm hinting.
Okay, great. No, I love that.
Jokes.
Love that for you. Okay. So my first honk is that each character has a very unique move set and a way to play towards that set. So most RPGs, it's like attacks, you have like special skills, and you have items you can use, but the skills all are built around a system that's unique to each character. That's very different, I think, character to character. Not really, doesn't look the same with anybody. And I think that's really fun. And I think it allows for you to narrow in on the play style you like and really pick and level up the characters that you feel most comfortable playing and exploring with. But it also kind of helps you not get bored, because I feel like one thing that can happen a lot in turn-based games is you have a set of moves that just works really well, but then you just play that set of moves forever and it gets really stale. When you have a bunch of characters and their moves are so different from each other, all I have to do is switch one out in the party and I can now have a really different experience. So,
but it also does let you pick your favorites and just say, I'm going to use only Mael.
Yes. So that can be cool. That's my first honk.
Okay. And what's your second? How many honks do you have in the spoiler-free section?
7.
Whoa!
No, 6.
You really liked this game.
I did really like this game, and I have more honks in the spoiler section. Anyway, I liked that the battle mechanics were super fun, and I'll explain what fun is. So it feels like a puzzle, but I also thought it felt very much like a dance. So I don't think the podcast knows, but I do tap dance, and I was a dancer for a long time. And because it's most people know this about the game, but a big mechanic is the parry and the dodge. So it really encourages you to parry and dodge. You kind of have to learn that with a lot of villains, because if they hit you once, you'll die. Like, they're just that strong. And if you parry, you can often cause a counter strike, which is really exciting and fun and does a lot of damage. So you want to learn how to do that. And the way you have to do that, or like at least the way I do it, is the rhythm of the game. And you have to kind of be in the pocket of the rhythm a little bit to get those parries. I don't know. It's just very dancey.
I'm bad at rhythm. Is that why I'm bad at parries?
Well, you've only played for like an hour, so I don't think that's...
Yeah, and 45 minutes of that was me doing the same Mael fight over and over again until I could consistently parry.
But I didn't even do that fight because it was too hard. I don't know why that fight's super hard.
Because they don't want you to get the token.
Yeah.
They want to deny the tokens.
Anyway.
They want only the elite to have the tokens.
Yeah. So, but I also found it did feel like a puzzle, because you have to figure out how the boss attacks. You learn each attack and the pattern of that attack. And it was exciting for my brain. I was excited to fail a battle, basically, because I was so excited to try again with my knowledge. It was very addicting design.
That's the Dark Souls effect. That's how Dark Souls does it.
But Elden Ring didn't give me this. Elden Ring just made me want to scream and throw my controller across the room.
That's because you got too addicted to the idea of walking past
enemies. That's true. I really wanted to speedrun that one.
Yeah. And then when you were
my speedrunner instincts
to fight,
kicked in, and because then I had to go back and fight people to get anything to level up, and it was just not great. Anyway, so that's too bad. But this really got me. I also think the way that they present the story is very good pacing, and it keeps you intrigued in the story part of the game. So they put little hints and dialogue, little things in items you find, and they kind of slowly roll out this mystery that keeps you guessing and it keeps you wanting to continue so that you know what happened. So that's kind of cool too. And I think they pace it well, and it does kind of fall into lots of cutscenes, but I think that dissipates after a little bit. Like the very beginning is mostly just a movie. And
yeah. It's quite a bit of movie.
And I would say the end of acts, the movie, it is a movie also. Like end of act 1, end of act 2, that's a movie. So, and then, okay, I also like that there's lots of side things to play through, but the main quest is the main thing. So we've talked a little bit about this with Tears of the Kingdom, where it distracts you with all these other quests, and you kind of feel like there's an overwhelming to-do list and you should maybe do all of that before you do the main story. This game doesn't really do that. Yes, there are side quests, but I think that the urgency of them isn't really there, and the main story is always the main kind of pulling point that pulls you through the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The other honk is, despite the map issue that I'm about to talk about, which will be the most of my section of bonk.
Okay.
I do like that there's some subtle visual design within the levels that help you navigate. So I'm not going to really spoil it, especially this, because this is a tactics thing. But they did add clues on how to figure out where you're going. Even though a map would be a better clue, but we're going to get there.
Okay. I'm curious.
I told you what this was.
Oh.
Because I was so proud of myself for discovering it.
Is it a spoiler?
I had to learn it, so...
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, and then this one might be less of a design thing, but the music slaps.
Sound design is design.
And I do think that the music for the battles especially really helps you get hyped up. Like it makes the battles engaging and interesting, and there were some glitches where the music just didn't play for a battle, and I would say those felt really awkward.
Wait, there was glitches where music just didn't play?
It would start, but it would finish and then it would never come back.
That's funny.
It happened only, I think, three different battles.
Maybe it's supposed to happen in those battles.
Well, it made me think I was playing too long. I was like, did they think I was going to finish this 5 minutes ago? And that's why the music ended 5 minutes ago. I'm still doing it.
On a loop. Come on.
There does come a point where, because say a villain has a lot of life, but you're very good at dodging, but you're also not super powerful. Like, you could play that for so long because you're doing so little damage, but you're also still not getting damage.
Especially if they have heals and shields and all that.
And I did do that a few times, so maybe it was just me being slow, but I still would think they'd want to loop the music no matter what. That just seemed funny. So anyway, okay, on to the bonks. As predicted, the map situation. That's most of my bonk. This game does a bad job with navigation, in my opinion.
Okay. All right.
First off,
I mean, except for the one thing that you alluded to earlier, that helps a lot.
Yeah, but it's solving a problem we don't have to have.
That's true. Okay. Okay.
So you start off, you're in a world, there's no mini map, there's no map. Okay, fine. But that's kind of standard for the beginning, kind of tutorial-y part. Then you go to an overworld, which I also will say was not well explained to me. I've never played a game that looked like that.
Oh, you've never played a game that has overworld and then like submaps?
No. So I was really confused. I thought that would look like that for the rest of the game.
That is classic JRPG fare.
I've never played a JRPG.
We got to get you in some Final Fantasy.
I don't like how the Final Fantasy is just on a block floating in space. That freaks me out.
That's Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
Specifically.
Okay.
Got to get you on Final Fantasy, 1 through 9.
Okay. Well, either way, I wasn't familiar with it, and they did nothing to explain it to me. So I thought that
they were like, yeah, no, everyone's played a JRPG at this point.
I thought that would be the rest of the game. I was scared to enter any other areas because I didn't know what they were. Like, I was like, is this going to teleport me somewhere else? Like, I was just I was so confused, folks. It took. They basically held my hand really nice through the tutorial. That's another thing. I think the tutorials were pretty good. That was in my honk actually for the character design. Is despite having all these characters with different abilities, the tutorial for each character I think is really good. Each character gets their own tutorial. It's pretty quick, but it really helped me understand the mechanic of how to play that character. So I appreciated that. But then after the tutorial area, basically they're like, okay, yeah, you've played a JRPG before, like good luck. And I was just so lost. And that has a map, so you can open a map, but it doesn't have a mini map. All it has is a compass, which didn't seem like a problem when I'd only unlocked a tiny little portion of the world. But the world is pretty big, and I'm really bad at navigating. Like in real life, I can't find directions. We've talked about in Baldur's Gate, Isaac has to come get me and take me places.
Haven't you said before that you're good at following maps?
If I can hold them and see them while I'm walking. I can't memorize the whole Expedition 33 map.
I think that you could.
If
you put your mind to it.
Well, I didn't want to put my mind to it. I should have a mini map. Why don't I have a mini map? I should have a mini map. So the overworld, you can open a full page map, but there's no mini map, but there is a compass. So I literally have to old school navigate and be like, okay, I need to head northwest, and hopefully I get that right. Great. So that's very frustrating. The other frustrating thing is, again, there's no mini map inside the like mini worlds, dungeons, whatever areas you want to call them. And there's no compass. There's nothing. You're just lost forever. And it's a very...
no compass is kind of rough. Not even like... there's no like pause screen.
I kept not looking at things on the pause screen. What if there's a compass on the pause screen?
That would be very
What if I played
funny.
this whole game and there was a compass on the pause screen and I never noticed?
Okay.
That's actually a very high... because now you're saying it, I kind of am remembering maybe there is. So...
Okay. Well, cool.
But I will say that screen, the screen I'm thinking of that I think it's on, doesn't stay up the whole time. You can't make it stay up the whole time. You'd have to keep pressing a button to have it. So it's like, it's not very convenient either way. And I think we should have a full mini map. I mean, there's one area where being lost is part of the gimmick. Don't give me a map for that. Everything else, I want a map. It's just, that made the game frustrating in a way that I don't think they fully intended for it to be, because most people have better spatial awareness than me. Like, I think most people can navigate better than me. And it just felt like an issue. It is a skill issue. It's just like an issue that could be solved. It didn't add to my gameplay that I was lost all the time.
Where would they even get the map from? They're an expedition. They're exploring.
Well, people came back from previous expeditions with information. So like, and they find expedition flags all over. So people have obviously explored those areas.
But did those people come back? That's the question.
Well, they also find journals from the people. The journals could have maps in it.
Oh, that is true.
Maybe you don't
Getting a journal could unlock.
Maybe you don't have a map until you find a journal. I'm fine with that if we want to lock it into story, but like, give me a map. Maybe the maps aren't perfect. That'd be fun too, you know, like.
No, actually that would destroy the game. People would hate that.
They would hate maps?
No, they would hate inaccurate maps.
Oh, just like slightly inaccurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just thought that'd be fun for the story because, we discover something new or the world has changed since this last expedition like 60 years ago. That would be interesting.
Yes, it makes sense and it sounds like it would be fun, but I think in practice, the overwhelming majority of people, like 95 to 99% of people would be like, this is stupid. I hate this. I would rather have no map at all. Okay.
Well, I mean, I would rather have any map, but I still like the idea of let's just find a map in a journal from a previous expedition.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a reasonable way of doing it.
And again, you don't have to have it accessible in every level if there's some levels you want people to be lost in, but I just can't imagine the designers wanted me to be lost every single time. And I was there were times I was so frustrated I stopped playing. Like, I wasn't frustrated by battling. I was frustrated by getting lost.
Just follow the right wall.
Well, you taught me that, and that helped a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. The other map-related thing, the little pointer that shows where you are is mostly white with a tiny black outline. The map itself is very detailed and colorful. It is so hard to find where you are on the overworld map, especially in like lighter colored areas. It's almost impossible. Sometimes I had to like stare at the screen. I'm like squinting with my glasses. I'm like, this is... Especially there's like a snowy area, it disappears. So even when you're in the overworld, the one place where there's a map, it's hard to see where you are.
Wow.
And final map related bonk, there's no fast travel. So I don't think that's a spoiler. I think everyone should go into it knowing.
There's no kind of fast travel?
Not in the overworld, no.
Oh, but in submaps.
You can travel
between checkpoints.
But outside, no.
Oh, wow.
You have to, and I will say they give you ways to more easily get to places, but you still have to physically go there. That's why I'm using the map. So I'm literally, when I'm trying to go like pretty far across the map, which you will have to do, I have to open the mini map, look at the direction, fly for like 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, 30 in-game minutes, maybe 30 seconds, open the map again, make sure I'm going in the right direction, see if there's anything else interesting around that I'm interested in the map. No, okay, again, yeah, it's okay. That's my big
crazy.
I just, the map situation is bad. I mean, it would honestly, the easiest way to just make the arrow red, and that would already solve a huge problem for me.
What about the red area?
There's not really a red area. There's a red-ish,
okay.
but from afar, a bright red arrow would really stand out. Okay. A couple of final bonks. Not enough signposting about what you should do next, or ways to keep track of side quests. So you can't set your own markers on the map. There's no list of side quests. The only quest it will remind you of is the main quest, but you do find side quests around, so it's hard to remember what they are.
Write those down.
Yeah, but
have your little expedition journal.
Blueprints told me to keep a physical journal up front. You gotta tell me up front if this is a journaling game, and this doesn't really feel like it should just have a list. It really should. This is not hard. Have a list. I talk to a certain being. I unlock a side quest. It's in a list. I can see it on the map. That would be great. So I don't like that they don't do that. And because of that, I really didn't do a lot of the side quests. I either forgot or didn't care because it didn't make them seem important if they're not on a list, honestly.
That's true.
It's like, okay, well, clearly I don't need to do this to finish the game.
In Untitled Goose Game, everything was on a list.
I need a list. Okay, even Nancy Drew has a list. And then my final non-spoiler bonk is if you want to make a parkour game, maybe spend a little more time on the execution of jumping.
Oh, yeah. No, this game is not a parkour game. This is a menus game.
It's a menus game, but they make you do parkour sometimes.
Yeah, they built it, so you have to use it.
There's like some things where it's like, okay, you have to use jumping for this, and it doesn't work. It's really janky. So, yeah, that's a bonk. Okay. We're entering spoiler territory. It is spoiler zone. These are spoilers that will spoil you.
Like, should I legitimately leave for this?
I'm going to talk about the end.
You're going to talk about the end?
I think you should leave.
With Tim Robinson? All right.
Friday night.
Text me when I'm allowed back down for the rapid fire round. I guess I will physically leave the studio. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy the spoilers.
As much as I want your opinions, I want you to enjoy the game. All right, Isaac. So once Isaac's gone, if you don't want the spoilers, go to the rapid fire round. It's linked below. The timestamp is in our notes. But this is your last chance. I'm going to talk about the ending. Well, I'll talk about a lot of stuff. Okay, welcome to the spoiler zone. So it's going to be weird to talk to myself for like 10 minutes, but here we go. The honks. I think it's brave and bold to kill off a character early on. So Gustav, one of our main characters, dies right at the end of Act 1. I was literally shocked. Definitely thought he would come back. He doesn't. And I do think that they kind of primed us right, because I thought he was kind of boring to play. His mechanics weren't as fun as Lune or Mael or Ciel. And so when he died and I realized he wasn't coming back, I was kind of like, oh, that makes sense. Because he didn't really have a lot mechanically going for him, so they weren't really putting him into a build. But they did put a lot into him emotionally and story-wise, and so I think it hit the right emotions, but I also was kind of okay with it from a gameplay perspective. I can't imagine if they had killed off someone with Lune's mechanics or Mael's mechanics. I think people would be up in arms. But Gustav didn't have, in my opinion, very interesting mechanics. But then he died. So I was like, okay, that was a plan. That makes sense. I also think it was interesting in the very beginning when we play as Sophie, who's Gustav's ex-girlfriend. Anyway, I should explain, now that we're in spoiler zone, I'm going to explain the gamage real quick. So the gamage is when, basically, it's Expedition 33 because every year the Paintress, who's the main villain in the story, kind of kills or disappears everyone of a certain age in the society. So every year this happens. So there's no one older than 33 in the town of Lumiere, which is fake Paris. And that's why it's Expedition 33, because they're going out to try to stop the Paintress so they survive. At the very beginning of the game, Gustav is meeting up with his ex, Sophie, and you don't really know what's going to happen, but it turns out she is 34, and so she dies. Or maybe now I forget how it works. I think she's 33 and she dies, and Gustav's 32. Either way, she gets disappeared, but the game makes you play as her, which I think is also a honk, because you think, oh, like, she's going to be one of the people. Like, she's going to be one of my playable characters, and you get to know her, and you get to really like her, and you talk to people as her, and then she dies. And then that happens to Gustav too. So I feel like they kind of prime you for it without really you knowing, and you probably don't think they're going to do it twice, but they do. And let me tell you, I was watching out for anyone dying pretty much the whole game after Act 1. Okay, I love the ending. I think the choice is great. And so basically at the end, you have to choose whether or not, I'm not going to go into the whole plot because it's kind of complicated, but you have to choose whether or not to basically save Lumiere or essentially save Maëlle. Where have we heard this before? Life is Strange. This is very much giving Bay or Bay, so save Chloe or save Arcadia Bay. And I absolutely loved it. But the way this works is that Versa wants you to save Maëlle, and ironically, Maëlle wants to save the universe instead. And you pick who you play as to then battle the other person and then therefore like unlock that ending. And I just think it's funny because I do think most people would pick Versa's side first. I think a lot of people played both, but most people also really love Maëlle's mechanics and really buff her up because she can do a ton of damage. So at the end, being told basically like, okay, now you have to fight your strongest person was really funny to me. And I do hope that the designers planned for that. And I will say too about the ending that the decision did feel genuinely challenging. Like as it was getting up to that point, I was getting nervous that would be the end choice. And then I do have to choose, and I felt really bad about my choice, but also kind of okay about it. And it was very much giving like a French film. I've heard a lot of people don't like either of the endings. They think they're too bleak, or that one is so clearly better than the other. And I don't know. I think they did a good job. I think it works, in my opinion. Which is what these are, my opinions. Okay. Bonks that have spoilers. The pacing in Act 3. So I talked about the pacings in 1 and 2 and how the story was kind of being dripped in nicely. That was great. And then we hit the end of Act 2 / beginning of Act 3. And oh my gosh, it was just only exposition. I thought the story pacing in that was really bad. And then also just the gameplay pacing. So basically they say, okay, you now have all the powers to explore the world as much as you want, but your final fight is in Lumiere. And so I could have just gone back and done the final fight right there and had no other gameplay in Act 3 except the final fight. But I didn't want to do that because I wasn't ready to be done, and I figured there was other stuff to do, so I explored the world. And I did some other side quests and all this stuff. And then I saw on Reddit someone was like, you should just go do the final fight because otherwise you'll be over-leveled. And I said, whoops. So I turned around, I did the final fight. I was so over-leveled. It was too easy. And that kind of was sad. So I think there's some things they need to hold your hand in a little better. Like, I mean, I guess if you want, they don't want to stop you from being leveled up if you want to be. I just think it didn't make the end actual battle sequence very satisfying at all. And then the final spoilery bonk is they don't really hold your hand through what to do at the end of the game. And this might be similar to the overworld issue where I just haven't played a lot of JRPGs / any except for this. But I thought usually it would say, okay, now you can roam the world or, start a New Game Plus. And I only knew about New Game Plus because I've been reading about it on Reddit. You have to go to a specific flag to get it. And I wouldn't know that at all. I would just be running around the world, la, 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 what am I doing? Yeah, so it's just very unclear what to do next. They didn't really give me a prompt or a text screen of, now that you finished the game, here's some choices. So I guess Act 3 in general, and then post-game / New Game Plus, I just want a little more hand-holding. I don't want to have to keep Googling on Reddit how it works. I guess Googling on Reddit. Looking up on Reddit or reading game articles about it. The game should tell me mechanically how I'm going to handle post-game and New Game Plus. But I do plan to play New Game Plus. I actually think I'm going to try to speedrun this game because I liked it so much. So that's the spoiler review. Okay, rapid fire round.
Friday night.
I've been thinking that we
I
just
might. No. All right.
Okay.
All right. Rapid fire
It's time for
round.
rapid fire round. That is where we generate 3 random words. We come up with a game idea for those 3 words, and we only have 5 minutes to do it.
And I'm setting the timer, and I'm starting it.
Oh no! I gotta get the generator up.
Oh, I figured that you had it up when you said ready.
I was just emotionally ready, not physically ready.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready now.
Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Charity, depressed, joint.
Okay.
You're a medical marijuana van.
Okay. Do you drive around like Crazy Taxi?
Yes, and you
Okay.
find people who need joints for depression.
Okay. Are we done?
Did we just come up with the game? Crazy Taxi medical marijuana delivery.
Yeah, driving game. You do sick tricks. You got goals. You drive. Okay, all right. And the name.
Can we come up with a funny like marijuana pun?
Maravana.
No.
Mara.
What are they? Blunt. Joint. What else do they call it? These potholes.
What? Potholes.
That's the only driving one I could got.
Potholes. Hubcap. Parts of a car that could also be marijuana related.
Gear shift. Chair.
Roach. Joint. Doobie.
Grass. What about depression?
Sticky icky.
Sticky icky?
Yeah.
What? People call it. It's not. Is it sticky?
The sticky icky.
Okay, I've never heard lettuce. The devil's lettuce.
Devil's lettuce. Well, I'm not feeling that.
Okay.
How do they not? Okay, marijuana-based car puns. These have to exist, right? There has to be
Is
some
there,
like
something
racing
with like an exhaust pipe or something, or
AI. Come on, let's.
Oh, don't.
No.
Don't do that.
That's the only thing.
No. Don't even joke about that on this show.
Oh, I figured it out.
Okay, what is it?
High speed.
I was gonna say highway. When you said high, I'm like, oh, okay.
High speed.
High
2
speed.
minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock.
Absolutely. Great game. No notes. Let's go. Next 3 words.
Oh, we got it. All right. I'm starting the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Pitch, medium, appeal. So it's a podcast. What?
Where you pitch ideas.
Where you pitch game ideas
that appeal
to the.
And the medium is the video games.
Yes, it's the end podcast.
And
both
we call that game. Make that game, the podcast, the game. And the method by which you construct the game pitches is Mad Libs.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
And then depending on what you put in, what's the game do with the Mad Libs?
Oh, how does it score you basically to make sure it's
okay
appealing?
No, wait, this is legitimately like I was joking when I was saying make that game the podcast the game.
Okay.
But legitimately, so the ad lib parts are like random words that you like, it gives you a list of random like words that you can pop in different situations. Every time you pitch a game, it then has like it pre-builds a game, and then it changes like assets and maybe some settings like based on the ad libs.
Oh, so it's like a real game.
Yeah. So let's say
That's
it's like
wild. That's wild.
A platformer game where you're a blank, and then like if you pick duck, it's a duck. When you actually play the game, it's like a duck sprite, or raccoon if you pick raccoon, and you collect gems, rings, or bananas, and Like that's what it does. So you
Okay,
ad
so
lib
it's
like
just
the
got
ad.
like really tiny mini games, and then the mini games exist after you
Yes.
pitch them.
Yes, and
That's
then
so fun.
you have to beat the mini game to progress.
Okay, and that's the appeal part. Is that you like it's appealing to you or
Yeah.
okay? I was
That's
thinking maybe there could be like you share. Well, no, but like if it's programmed in the game, that doesn't work. I was gonna say like you share your ideas with people and they vote on them, but I like your idea. I'm just trying to put appeal into it. Maybe there's like a specific arrangement where the game likes it the best, and maybe it's arbitrary.
oh, maybe it follows like weird Animal Crossing feng shui rules
Yeah,
where
exactly,
it's like, okay, so you did say motorcycle where the main character should be, and
Yeah.
that's cute, but
it's not ideal. Yeah.
it's not a real main character.
I think that's how we do that. So that you can get high appeal games, but it doesn't necessarily ruin your game. Like you can do whatever you want.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And that's make that game the podcast the game.
Yes. 2 minutes left on the clock.
Awesome. Well, that was the most meta game we've ever made on the show. Okay.
Last one.
Last
3,
one.
2, 1, go.
Executive. Year. Witness.
Okay. Witness protection program.
Okay.
Protect for a year.
Okay. An executive?
An executive. No, that doesn't sound fun.
Not really.
No,
But
like
it doesn't
what does
have to be fun. There's lots of games that aren't fun. So
Yeah, I would
No,
be
you want it to
mostly
be
just
fun?
sitting around. Yeah, I want it to be fun. I want it to be action packed.
action packed. Okay. Witness, executive, year. I like the idea of having protective. Let's just make that game fun because so the idea of witness protection is usually you protect someone until they testify.
Okay.
So you have a year till the trial.
So, yeah, here I've got the idea. It's a tower defense
Okay.
plus.
Yep.
So you set up, basically, it's a game that's set up a lot like Stardew Valley.
Okay.
Like those kinds of cozy games where you have like a day-to-day thing, but your thing is every day, like you craft and set up traps.
It's like kind of
And
Home
defensive.
Alone-y.
Home Alone-y. You craft and set up traps around like the compound that you're in. And every Sunday, like assassins come to attack, and
Okay.
then you have to fight them off.
Yeah, for a year and
For a year, so 52 levels,
I
basically.
really like that. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
And we can come up with something cool for like why you're protecting this person, and they're going to testify against some evil
Yeah.
corporation. So
Oh, an evil corporation. Yeah, because they were a top executive at it.
and they're turning on it.
Okay. What do we know enough corpy words, buzzwords to do this?
Circling back, opportunities, KPIs, key performance indicators.
I think these are all things that would appear in game. Like after every like level, you would get like a listing of your KPIs,
Yeah.
and it would be like which traps were the most valuable and like how many thugs you killed and stuff. But like,
What other corpy language?
Why don't I know enough? All corporate phraseology is drained from my brain.
I can do it if I'm translating something. Like if you say a sentence and I can turn it to corporate, I think, but it's hard to come up with words without.
I mean,
context.
yeah, like okay, I'll give you some words. Witness protection program.
Coalition for, or yeah, I think. That's the word for no, this is taking too long. Like an ad hoc like project, but it's not project. It's like blue sky. People talk about blue skying. It's like brainstorming, I think.
Okay.
On site, blue sky, off site coalition for.
Well, let's drop the coalition
No,
part
I
because
know.
you're a one man. But
Yeah.
offsite
Offsite is good.
blue sky
Blue
strategy for protecting assets.
strategy for assets is a good one.
But okay, but is that a game title?
No. I
Dang
like
it.
the idea of using these in the game, but I think the title, I mean, if you're playing as the witness protection agent, you're not the corpro, so it doesn't have to be.
You're right.
How much time
you're
do we have
right.
left?
A little over a minute.
Okay. Capitalism is bad.
Wave after wave. If it was like a surfing
That
shoot
would be
'em up
great.
game.
Surf Dracula.
Sur-
Okay.
52 weeks.
I do think we could maybe. Fiscal. We go fiscal year. Because it's 1 year.
Fiscal year. Okay.
Quarter 4.
Oh. What if we call it 4 quarters?
I think 4 quarters.
All right, 30 seconds left. I'm thinking now that
No?
I'm keeping it obviously, but I'm like, well, 4 quarters. That's not an evocative action. Like, I'm not sure if a kid would pick that up for his.
I don't know if a kid would
Sega
want to play
Genesis.
the executive sec tower defense game necessarily.
Well,
I don't know if that's our target audience here.
I did play Final Fantasy Tactics as a child, and that is.
But I've watched Final Fantasy Tactics, and I feel like that is kid based.
It is extremely heavy-handed in the political messaging.
Oh, I don't think
it's just the game itself is also fun enough.
I don't think anti-capitalism is the problem. I think the executive corporate world is the problem.
Hey, as long as there's guns and explosions and
That's true.
bloodshed,
That's true.
It's going to be exciting.
That's true. Well, I'm sorry that you settled on a name you don't like.
I didn't say that. I liked it. I obviously liked it when I agreed to it. I just,
intriguing.
as I was thinking about it, I was like,
It's fine. Okay. Well, anyway, that's the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my solo rant for a little bit. And you can find us on social media at MakeThatGamePod. We have MakeThatGame.com. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/MakeThatGame. Our next live stream is actually kind of soon. We have it scheduled for October 11th, which is a Saturday. It'll be around 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So follow us on Twitch so you get alerted when we go live. And you can email us, makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com. Please leave us a rating and review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps us out. And finally, if you heard a game today that you think you would love, the only way to find out if that's true is if you go out there and
make that game.